What's going on, Fortnite fans? My name's luke-thenotable, and in this video, I'll be showing you how I unlocked all the Fortbytes. I did it in one day too, sort of. It's a little complicated. We'll go over that later in this video, but I think first we should talk about what Fortbytes are. Fortbytes were a new challenge in Fortnite that went alongside the Battle Pass. There were 100 of them and were slowly revealed throughout the season, and I wanted to take the challenge of getting them all in one single day on a fresh account right at the end of the season. I already have the whole series where I get to tier 100 in one day, and I figured I could try to get all the Fortbytes in one day too. Speaking of that tier 100 series, you might have seen the video where I get Vendetta in one single day. Getting all the Fortbytes was going to be a massive challenge for me. I had no idea how these Fortbytes worked. I didn't know if it was even going to be possible, so I got Vendetta in one day first because he's connected to a lot of the Fortbyte challenges. And if you watched that video where I unlocked Vendetta in one day, there were several times where I walked past Fortbytes. I wanted to get all the Fortbytes in this video, just this video. I'm just saying, it's new for me. I know I get all the tier 100s in one day, but Fortbytes, it's totally different. I'm not an expert on this stuff. And you know what? Enough talk. It's already been a full minute. Let's just go to game number 1, or game number 19. And again, we're on ELBATONEHT, which is my second account where I get all the tier 100 skins in one day. Also, I've messed around with some of my controller binds recently. Just thought you might want to know. Of course, we're still jumping with Y. Here we are, gameplay, game number 19. I just want you all to know that I'm very prepared for this. Like, truly. I knew these challenges were going to be a tall order, so I came very prepared. Look at my map. I made this myself. It's got every hidden location Fortbyte available, though some of the numbers are incorrect. Anyway, kind of to come full circle, the reason I had to do Vendetta and get all the challenges done first is a lot of these Fortbytes require emotes, outfits, and other things that you have to earn from the Battle Pass. I was fixin' to grab a ton of Fortbytes in game number 19, but this Rox found me, and despite my dancing, she still killed me. It's fine, it's our first game, game number 19, and there's a ton of Fortbytes that spawn near and around the desert. I was in Team Rumble, so I was able to just look for all the Fortbytes I wanted. It's pretty easy. You saw the map earlier. They're everywhere. I wanted to make a point to do this one early. It's one of the only ones that requires a little bit of skill. You gotta do a memory puzzle. Because I'm not a 3-year-old, I was able to do it correctly, but it took me about a minute. Also happened to be right by another Fortbyte on top of this mountain. And now we're in John Wick's house looking for a Fortbyte. I know it's in the basement, just not entirely sure where. Oh, there it is. Cool. Let's keep going. When you're doing this, moving outside the storm in Team Rumble to get objectives, you want to make sure to pack items that not only heal you, but also move you through the storm quickly. Doing this, I was able to get a ton of Fortnites while being in the storm the entire time. Alright, running low on health, there's one more. It's inside the taco stand. We can do it. Oh, it's right there! Come on, please! No! Oh well, still about 12 other Fortbytes that I gotta go get. Not kidding you, this one was inside of a pig. If you've lost track on how many Fortbytes I've recovered in this first game, it's 13. Yeah. 13. It was mostly thanks to my packing chug splashes. It allowed me to get outside the storm and stay alive a little bit longer. So here I was able to go into the fork knife and get another Fortbyte. And in this game of Team Rumble, we lost. I only got one kill. I pretty much just looked for Fortbytes the entire time. We did very well though. Got a ton of Fortbytes along the southern edge of this map. Game 20 was more of the same. I had a lot of free area up in the jungle, and I figured I'd just get Fortbytes there. And what better Fortbyte to start with than the one you gotta skydive into? Conveniently for me, after grabbing this Fortbyte inside of a fish, I was able to grab a baller, then used my bunker basher pickaxe on this rock for another Fortbyte, then defiled this concrete wall with the bot spray for another Fortbyte. Storm is coming, and apparently there's a parrot in the sky I'm supposed to be looking for. There's a Fortbyte under him or something? I don't know. Also got this one by a rock garden, and there was one last Fortbyte in the distance, but the storm had been here for a while, and I had no chug splashes. Oh well, I'll get it next time. Luckily, the safe circle was over Neo Tilted, and there's a ton of Fortbytes here. It also helped that Tilted was deserted. I was able to grab tons of FBs without any problems. Hey look, it's that one Fortbyte I walked by like 3 times in the Vendetta video. Circle wasn't tilted, but I was able to make it almost all the way to Mega Mall for this Fortbyte. Like I said, tilted circle, super central. I was able to get a ton in this game. Most of the Fortbytes really weren't that difficult, and I knew this going in. I knew that I'd grab most of them in the first couple games. However, you'll see later that this theme does not hold up, but in this game I got 18 Fortbytes. Yeah, pretty insane game, starting in the jungle, getting almost all of those, and then a ton of those central ones too. Game 21, we're up in the northern part of the map, getting some more Fortbytes. If you didn't know, that's what we're doing in this video. Fortbytes. And you know, by this point, I'm not really sure how many times I've said Fortbyte. Though one time earlier in the video, I did say Fortnite. And we're getting another Fortbyte in Junction. Had to wear the Kaio back bling at the northern part of the map because Epic is running out of ideas. I got a ton of Fortbytes, then dropped into the ocean. It was a perfect day. Then I got more Fortbytes. I walked by this one at least 5 times when I got Vendetta. Here I got the Fortbyte in the center of the storm, then begged for death from this default. They were all terrible. It took a very long time for me to die. That's pretty much all the Fortbytes I could grab, so I was just messing around for the rest of the game. I didn't even show all of them. I got another 14 Fortbytes in this game. 14! And I won't be showing all of game 22 because I wasn't recording. Yeah, sure, I didn't record, but I saved my crazy person scratches. But look, now it's the end of game 22, or game 4, you know, if you're really just looking at Fortbytes, and I've already got 74 of them. But I knew this was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna get a majority of the Fortbytes very quickly, and I did. But if you've done the Fortbytes in Season 9, you know they're not all as easy as smashing a gnome with your pickaxe. But let's not worry about the difficult stuff just yet. We still got a lot more Fortbytes to grab. Like this one inside Peely's banana stand while wearing the banana cape. However, midway through this game, while looking at my challenges, I realized that I'm pretty much ready to start dropping into solos. I've already got most of the Fortbytes. Now we're game 24 and we're dropping into solo mode because we only have specific Fortbyte challenges now. In this game, I dropped at the wrong island with Sentinel. My map was labeled wrong. I'm still primarily here to grab Fortbytes, but understand that one of the hardest Fortbytes in the game is top 10 in 50 solo, duo, or squad matches. So that's why I'm in solo. I wanted to do the 50 top 10 matches for all the Fortbytes in solo mode because you can tell exactly when you get to top 10. It's nice. I also don't have the victory umbrella on this account yet, so a win would be nice. But I got second place in this one. Whatever, just needed top 10. Had to drop with Demi on the sundial for a Fortbyte in this one. Now the only challenge is to come in top 10. Oh, that was bad. I should've, no. Now we're dropping in with Vega, going to the spaceship for a Fortbyte, and of course, trying to come in top 10. Here I'm not really prioritizing loot or the win. I know I gotta come in top 10, but I'm also grabbing a lot of Fortbytes that I missed. It was kinda nice though. I mean, you only have to get to top 10 and you kinda feel like you won the game already. But in this one, I definitely didn't win the game. A default killed me. At least in game 27, I started it off right by getting a Fortbyte in the air. Yeah, cause that was the only one I got. That was it. This was the Fortbyte I was supposed to go for last game. Obviously, it was pretty contested. I'm still going for top 10, so I spent most of this game in a defensive position. You gotta remember, I'm working on changing up a few keybinds here, so I figured 50 games of going for top 10 would be good for grinding. And as you can see at this point, I'm not perfect, but I still got about 48 games to go. Hey, look at that. I made it into a 1v1 in the final circle against a soccer skin, who was definitely low. He got the high ground in about half a second, but I had 1 impulse grenade left, and I won the game. Not gonna lie, the Holographic Win Umbrella is probably my favorite. And I already got Singularity, the award for 90 Fortbytes. I am 90% done already, but I still have a very long way to go. Not only do I have to get top 10 in 45 more matches, but I also need more than 100,000 XP. So here in game 29, this second place finish is just one of many. Game 33 is how I pretty much played all of these matches. I'd sit in a baller until top 10, and then I'd go on a massive killing spree. This allowed me to keep the game short, but also maximize my XP. And it didn't always work out, but sometimes it did. Like in game 40, got to top 10 and then rampaged my way to a 7-kill win. Game 51, I was able to spray into an 8-kill win. That's a lot of XP. And I wasn't recording in game 52, but I got back-to-back wins. And then I was getting pretty tired, so I didn't get a win for another 12 games. I'm only a few more games away, so I grabbed Tors and Jake to grab some team-based challenges. There's only 2 of these challenges, so it's not that difficult. And I played the last game with Jake. We didn't do well, but I got top 10 50 times. I've got 99 Fortbytes, 99 of them. And I'm still about 50,000 XP off from getting the last one. So, while editing this video, I've been AFKing Team Rumble, trying to get 50,000 XP. If my math's correct, it should only take me about 10 hours. A development! What is the overtime challenges, huh? I had no idea these overtime challenges were coming into the game, but they would have ended up saving my life here. Do you remember how I said I needed about 50,000 XP to complete all of the Fortbytes? Well, guess how much the overtime challenges give? 50,000. It saved me a little bit. I wasn't able to complete all of the challenges because they all aren't out yet when I'm making this video, but it got me an extra 5k XP. You gotta remember, Fortbytes were new with Season 9. I didn't exactly know how I was gonna do them all in one day, but it looks like Epic Games made it possible. And if I had done all of these overtime challenges during my solo matches, I'd have an extra 50,000 XP, and I would have all of the Fortbytes. I unlocked every challenge in the Season 9 arsenal in 21 hours if you don't count all the time I spent AFKing Team Rumble. So no, I did not complete the Fortbyte challenges as efficiently as possible, but I did learn learn their weakness, and next season if they're coming back, I'm coming for them. I made a point never to open the Fortbyte screen. I thought it might look cool for them all to unlock at the same time, but it didn't work. I have no idea why, and I'm super disappointed. If Fortbytes come back next season, you can bet that I will do them all in one single day. But it's Fortnite, so we don't know what's gonna happen. Anything's possible. Anyway, I do this at the end of every season, so I wanna make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Click the LTN logo on screen right now. I'm also getting very close to 1 million subscribers, so I'd really appreciate if you could help me get there. Hit that LTN button on the screen now. I've got something pretty big planned once we hit that number, so stay tuned. And that's it. I'll see you guys next season with another tier 100 video, and probably next week with another Fortnite video. Stay notable. See you in the next one.